Oh, Facebook family, how's everybody doing out there in the Facebook world? Before we get started, I just want to ask everybody to please tag your friends, share it to the groups that you're able to share it in. Bring everybody in because today is a good day to learn some new information about some amazing things. And we have just the person here to do it today, Brother Jeffrey E. Berger. So hang on, get your pencils, get your book, your notebook, your paper, your voice recorders, all of that things. Tag yourself in it so you can go back and look at it because we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. We're going to be talking about finances from a very unique lens. We're going to be talking about it from a holistic lens and how it can better your life and how it ties into so many different facets of life. But before we get started, we are going to do our community pool for the week to get us all started and going. What's going on, Queen Angelique? Hey, Queen. Hey, I don't know who it is, but what's up? What's going on? Tag somebody, bring people in the room. We're about to have a good time. So first and foremost, we're gonna have our sister Queen Tina Wolf come in and do our community card pull for the week. This is gonna be a staple to the show every week, and we look forward to just getting a little insight from different modalities, different spiritual ways, and different ways that we can tap into who we are, where we're going, and just get in tune spiritually before we start our week. Whether it's meditation, whether it's walking, whether it's praying, and the carpool. So I'm gonna bring Sister Tina in the room. How you doing today, sis?
I see we are still in attack mode from last week about these finances. So we just gonna keep on moving and grooving. I'm doing good.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, hello, hello. So I'm gonna leave her to it, y'all. She's gonna pull a card for the community, ATBA community, and she's gonna be doing this each week on a consistent basis. Please feed into her, give her, show her love through your thanks, your comments, and your dollars. Her cash tap is book. Where is it? Where is it? Hang on, I got it. I got it. There it is, right there. So if you want to sow a seed, not just into her, but into yourself, into your intuitiveness, please do so. All right. So give your attention to Sister T.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do my disclaimer, which is this is for entertainment purposes only. During the reading, I may understand, you may not. You may understand, I may not. We both may understand during the reading, or we both may not understand during the reading. I'm going to ask that you respect my perspective, and I will also respect your perspective as well. If the information you're receiving is different from the information I'm providing, it's quite all right. Please share the message because it may be for me or someone else. Please do not use these readings as a form of therapy or advice. You've been blessed with the gift of discernment. So take the information you need and throw the rest away. So we're going to continue to talk about finances. This is going to be today's show. I'm going to be using my Archangel Raphael deck, which is the deck that I use for health and mental enlightenment and awareness. A lot of times when we think about finances, we just think about that dollar bill, right? But in order to think about the dollar bill in a positive way, there's certain things that we need to work on and do. Now, I saw one of Carrie's purse. You got some purses out there, Carrie? Um, you got one of her posts that said, if you think your price is too high, mark it up higher. And I was like, oh, she is in attack mode today. So how do you get your mindset? For those of you that already have mindset, you like, I already know what I need to do to get this abundance of financial status and wealth. For those of you that are having a little bit of struggle, right? What are some things that you can do in this, as they call it, this 3D world together? So we're going to go to the past for just a second. So maybe in the past, some of the problem was you had too much caffeine in your life, and it's time for you to reduce and eliminate this caffeine as much as possible. Because if you're starting off your day and you're like, man, I don't have the energy, it's not because you ain't had your great old cup of coffee. I know y'all coffee people gonna be screaming and hollering at me, but it's not because you haven't had your cup of coffee. It's because you're already starting your day with heavy emotions, right? So instead of having those heavy emotions, the next card says do your research. Research on what? Research yourself, right? You need to be your own doctor. Research yourself and ask yourself the questions. What is the reason why I'm feeling this way? And why do I need this caffeine in order to get to where I need to be, just so I can have the mindset to think? Earlier today, I was listening to a song and it inspired me. And I'm trying to think of the words of exactly how I said it. I said, sometimes you better than you know you. So sometimes you got to ask you what it is you need to do. And what I mean by that is, we'll say that we don't know the answer, but a lot of times we don't look within, right? So maybe in the past, you used to get you a good night's sleep, and now you're not sleeping right. So if you don't sleep right, you can't think right, right? So if you want to get what you want, you used to get a lot of yes answers. You used to manifest so abundantly, but you like, what's the problem? The problem is you're not getting enough sleep. You're not doing your research. You're not talking to yourself or your higher power, and you're using outside influences, caffeine, to get your thought process up and going. Okay, Tina, that's great. That's wonderful that you're saying that. So, what are we going to do moving forward? What are we going to do moving forward? So, what can we do right now to get ourselves out of that space? With some of the things that you did in the past and those wonderful habits that you had in the past that brought you your finances can do the same thing. But here's a little extra help. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ooh, baby. Okay, so this card coming in upside down, pay very close attention. It's time to go back to your meditation processes. Keeping in mind that meditation does not require 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. I do a 30-second meditation in the morning strictly for my finances. I do another 30 seconds on how I'm going to spend it. Another 30 seconds manifesting the friends, family, coworker, romantic mates that I want in my life. That's all you need. Set your timer. All right. Give your cares and worries, right? If they say, if you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. And what is worry? Worry means you don't know the outcome. Sometimes you got to trust the process and know that things are going on behind the scenes. Also, use your divine healing abilities, right? To get rid of those things that you are holding hostage that are taking up place where your abundance could be. Organic food. Start eating something fresh every day. Something fresh, some fruits, some veggies, right? Last card. This card says Jesus, the divine healer, but it also means whatever your belief system is, get back connected with your source that you believe in. And furthermore, start believing in yourself. And this is your financial blessing of the day, right? So you can get yourself back on path. And I set my timer and I'm right on time. So I love y'all. It's your girl, Tina Wolf, bookwithtina.com, giving you the emotional, mental, and spiritual support you need to get you back in your finances. Let's see what Jeff has to say and Carrie. Love y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad y'all down there. I'm glad y'all down there. I was telling Shay, I said, she talking to me too, because before we went live, I said, let me go grab my coffee. As soon as she said caffeine, I was like, that is hilarious. Thank you so much, Sister Tina. Those cards are right on time. I don't know who else saw them cards, but those cards are right on time. Get yourself together. Feed yourself with things, knowledge, information, affirmations, all the things that you need that are better yourself, especially those organic foods that she's talking about. And Jeffrey knows a lot about that, because a lot of the work that he's done has been with the gut and the microbiomes and all these things. And then on top of that, I love the fact that she said, you know you better than you think you know you, and you know you better than you know you. Because on the outside, we seem to glean from the past. But a lot of times when we glean from the past, we cherry pick. We don't collectively think and we don't collectively feel. because we will extract the feeling of being not heard or the feeling of being violated. But we don't add to that the fact that we're here right now and we've made it this far and we've come to where we are right now to be who we are right now. So do those things. Put a hashtag. I'll do them. Or just put a little hand raise. I'll do them. Or that touched me. Or just say ouch if it stepped on your toes a little bit. All right, we're gonna move on with the program tonight. Thank you all so much for showing up. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you for just exuding the good energy that I'm feeling right now. And I really appreciate everybody that's in the room. And I look forward to your further comments because this is going to be a dialogue. So we are going to move ahead and we're going to be talking to Jeffrey Berger. And I'm going to allow him to introduce him much better than I will. But what I will say is that I have known Jeffrey for a few years and he is an absolutely amazing man. Not just a businessman, not an entrepreneur, not a holistic coach, a good man. And that right there at the core is the thing that you can build on, because we can do a lot of things and we can be successful in a lot of areas. But if the foundation isn't built of just knowing oneself and going through some things and applying it to your life, all the other stuff will soon fall away because the foundation isn't firm and isn't set into what it needs to be able to build upon. So we are going to meet Jeffrey E. Berger right now.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff here. Lots of things have been going on. I just got back from a trip to Dubai, and people are like, what's this holistic financial fitness? Finances are the number one stressor globally for most people today because they're not getting the returns that they want and they are struggling, and we need to redirect people to getting information first about other options that are out there. Get the information. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't resonate, great. And that's fine. It's just allowing you to get that information to make an educated decision. So as a certified holistic wellness coach, I am of the belief that we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And for the last couple of years, I have been promoting and talking about on my TV series, Holistic Mental Fitness, about the physical, the mental, emotional, and sometimes the spiritual aspect in regards to helping people look at other alternative options that are out there outside of our broken systems that are really not working for a majority of us who are looking for results. And this is what it's all about. It's about results, because we ain't getting them through our traditional broken and corrupt systems, financial systems that we have today.
Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey. How are you today?
Hey, Carrie, great. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. Yes, Ebony, I am so excited for this too. This is about to be good. I already know them eyes of popcorn is Tina watching us on the other side. So as we start today, I just want to say that when I tell you, get your pen and get your paper, I'm not just saying this because this is my show. I'm saying this because this is going to be some information that is going to be very valuable for people to take with them tomorrow, maybe even this evening after you get off. Once you start chewing on this information, I promise you there's going to be some nuggets that you are going to want to jot down today. So, Jeffrey, we're going to start with how your journey started, how this transformational journey started, and where did it start, and how did we get to where we are right now?
So that's a great question. And first, thank you for inviting me to talk on your show. It's always humbling to share the stage with you, no matter what. And it has been a while.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of disruptions over the last couple of years, blah, 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 blah. But we, kind of embrace them and work through whatever it is that we need to work through.
Absolutely.
Despite what is happening out there, we need to really focus on ourselves for, the aspect of what I've been preaching for 5 years, living in abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So, so with that, my journey really started. I left corporate America in 2016. I was not happy. I was burnt out, and I was seeking, something that I wanted to do because I had a passion of leaving this world to make a difference. And what I was doing, working at a pharmaceutical company, was not that gig for me, if you will. It didn't.
Right.
It wasn't my jive. So I left, and I did have some health problems. And in 2018, I was introduced to a holistic mental wellness company that actually focused on the microbiome. And I was a little bit skeptical at first. However, I did my due diligence. I was open to getting some information, and that's the key: is being open. It's okay to be skeptical, but not cynical. Because my doctor wanted to put me on a sixth medication, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm on 5. So long and the short of it is, I jumped into this holistic platform, if you will, because the medical system was not working for me.
Right.
Long and the short of it is, over 9 months, I eliminated 5, got off of the 5 medications, and lost 60 pounds, and I reversed my type 2 diabetes. When I say reversed my type 2 diabetes, it was I got my A1C and my glucose levels down to a non-diabetic state, if you will. And I actually reduced decades of stress, anxiety, and depression. That was at a 10 plus for, as I said, decades. And
Right.
be able to, come into an environment that you're not stressed out, and you understand what that journey, what my journey was specifically, that caused me to have that stress, anxiety, and depression. Also, being a 2-time attempted suicide survivor, chemical dependency, sexual molestation as a kid, I went through a really transformational journey over the last 40 to 50 years. So, with that, I've been really passionate about holistic options, and I talk about, when I talk about that abundance and optimum wellness, it's about, and what I've learned over the years is, we are unfortunately in systems that are broken, that are corrupt, and that are not getting us the results that we so long desire.
Right.
Me personally, I wanted to, for my own journey, is I didn't want to be a diabetic anymore. I didn't
Right.
want these medications. I wanted to be healthy, and my doctor was putting me on the same path as my father, who ultimately died at 70 years old with, type 2 diabetes, leg amputation, heart disease, and he was on 12 medications. And then a few years later, his sister died, and then a few years later, his brother died. Same thing, type 2 diabetes. I'm like, I don't want to be a statistic.
Right.
And unfortunately, my doctor said, you have to manage your type 2 diabetes with medication. Come to find out, no, you don't. Unfortunately, that's why I say we're in a system that's broken. It's corrupt because the medical system today is about making money. They want to make money. All right. And the research that I've done over these last years have been just disgusting. In fact, I just posted something today, and Tina was talking about eating organic, and now they're putting mRNA into our organic foods. So check that out before they take that post down, because our foods are one of the biggest contributors to all the diseases that we have out there. And but my journey has been amazing. I've been blessed with meeting people like you, and so many others that are out there. I'm not going to make a list because it's endless. And I've been really blessed in many, many ways to be able to share my story, being an author to books that have been published on Amazon as international bestsellers. I've been on the cover of Own It magazine, of Phoenix Fitness magazine. I'm in Mupo Entertainment magazine. I have my own TV series. And I would say the last year, there's been another transformation or a rebranding, if you will, for my own business, because
All
what
right.
I learned is that finances are the number one stressor globally today. So
Right.
I've incorporated that holistic financial fitness into my branding of overall holistic wellness, because wellness is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial.
Mm-hmm.
And learning what I learned, because I didn't talk about that in the first couple of years. I was comfortable with physical, mental, emotional, sometimes spiritual, but I never talked about the financial part because I was uncomfortable. I
Oh
was
yeah.
never comfortable getting out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
because, and I go back to my upbringing, but that's the purpose of today, is to really share a little bit more of my journey this past year in regards to incorporating that holistic financial component to my overall branding as abundance and optimum wellness. So it's been amazing, and I'm really excited to share some of the things that I've learned over the last year. I'm excited because of that, but also share because people should be scared of what's going on out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And not even scared in the sense of being fearful of it, but scared if you're in it and don't and it strikes fear when you can't figure your way out of it. So we're gonna do just a quick break right now, a little commercial for ATBA, and then we're gonna come back and I want you to talk about those reasons why people are
Sure.
scared to get out of their comfort zone. And then we'll go into the broken system, the broken financial system, so that people can see how does this apply to me. So we'll be right back.
How beautiful. Carrie. All right, so for y'all that don't know me, I can be a whole vibe, right? And you know why I'm a whole vibe? Why do you think I'm a whole vibe? You don't know? Anybody got a guess of why? Because the energy, because I'm fly, because what else? What else we got? Because I'm Carrie. That's why. I'm a whole vibe because I decided to just be me.
ATBA Impact Group is an extension of my inner calling to create a space for people to truly be themselves authentically without having to ask permission from anyone, not worrying about what anyone's going to think about it. That's what makes the resources at ATBA Impact Group so rich, because the only requirement is to be authentic. And when someone is looking for you to be more authentic because it pleases your soul, it makes it so much better to show up that way, so much easier to show up that way. Because being oneself, I found, for me, has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Yet when I mastered just being who I am, it's accompanied with such ease. And that is the way of HBA. We want to create an environment where everybody belongs there. And that is our focus. We're planting positive seeds of change on a consistent basis in order to continuously eliminate competition through collaboration. And we have mastered that because we have focused on mastering ourselves. And then we can just show up and do that, knowing that no one else can do that.
Hello there, Emilio. So we are back. Hello, T. Nicole. We are back and we are going to get back into it. We're talking about finances and the broken systems that we're in and how to manage your financial holistic health so that you can advance not just physically and emotionally and spiritually, but make that money, y'all. I mean, put it in the comment. Let's make that money because money is an energy as well, and it is one that can benefit us in so many ways. Because I know for me, I was just literally talking to my best friend about this yesterday, I think it was. I just want to give. I want to be in a position that giving doesn't hurt. And we're going to talk about some ways of how we can get out of our comfort zone or what keeps us in our comfort zone so that we can't do that, or why we can't move as easily as we would like to. So, Jeffrey, dive into that a little bit about that comfort zone that people feel as though that they just can't get out of.
Sure. And there's a lot of different reasons depending on the individual about their getting out of their comfort zone. But I want to cover three of the top ones that are pretty much across the board that I have found with regards to just really talking with people and sharing their experiences. Number one is fear of the unknown. We have been brought up in a world where we go to school, we get an education, and we're told to go out and find a nice, safe, secure job. And what I've learned, in the last 5 years and reflecting on that is that we basically have become robots to a system that is teaching us to not think for ourselves. I think that that's the majority. I know that I was caught into that. It's like, hey, I was a software engineer for 27 years, and it's like, go to work, do what they say, and make a paycheck, go home, and live happily ever after. Unfortunately, that's not the case today. So stepping out and wanting to, or in the fear of that unknown, because you're comfortable with, most people are comfortable with where they're at. And there can be some triggers that are associated with the unknown, which I have experienced. But the bottom line is, in regards to the unknown, is we need to start becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable. Because what I learned over the last 5 years is when you're uncomfortable and you push through it, that is where your growth comes. It comes through those uncomfortable moments that you have to push through. You learn, you grow, you fall, you get back up, and you continue to go through and work on the mistakes that you've made, learn from them, and take that information and share it to the others in the future, which is what I'm doing, especially with my health and now with the financial aspect of it. So the fear of the unknown is the very first one, then fear of failure. We are so conditioned to fear of failure because, in school, you get that 65, that 65 red X, you failed. And we hear it as kids. We even hear it as adults, and the thing is that we're human. We make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. And I think that too many people have been actually, pounded down to where they are more introverted and not pushing forward because they're in fear of that failure and not wanting to fail. Because I don't think anybody really wants to fail out there. We want to be able to make people happy. We want to make ourselves happy. And we want to be able to pursue our goals. And even though we don't obtain our goals, it's a matter of readjusting those goals and looking at pushing forward and getting to reach those goals. And then the last thing is the lack of confidence. So many people have lack of confidence. And that was one of my biggest things. It was lack of confidence and, being told by certain individuals that I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'll never make it anywhere. You're useless, so forth and so on. And what we need to do is, and what I've learned is, it all starts with loving yourself. Once you can accept that you love yourself, because we were all put here for a reason. And once you find that reason, that purpose, and you embrace that, you are unstoppable because it doesn't matter what they say. It matters what you say and what you think and what you believe. And there are too many people out there that get off by demeaning people intimidating people and shaming people. And when you stand up for your own rights and for who you are, what you believe in, then people will start to come, step back, because they get off on intimidating people who are weak. We need to get more strong people out there, because the more people that we have that are stronger, the better we are, because we all have our unique experiences. We have all of our unique missions, if you will. And this is where building a community of like-minded people wanting to make change
Absolutely.
for the better, we learn from each other's experiences and knowledge to nurture our foundation and expand on that.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
fear of unknown, fear of failure, and fear of confidence. Those are the three topics that I wanted to talk about in regards to stepping out of your comfort zone. It's so, 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 so important.
Right. That is so good. And when you're talking about the fear of the unknown, fear of failure, lack of confidence, man, is that not the root of the way people feel stuck about money? Because when you gotta
Absolutely.
put your money on it and you don't know what's on the other side, and failure could be an option, your confidence go down real fast about making that decision. But
Yeah.
like you said in that video, like you said right now, it's information. We have to educate ourselves. We have to inform ourselves about what we're doing. And no, we can't always make a sure thing, sure bet, sure anything. But the more we know, the more we know. So that
Exactly.
is so good. Thank you for sharing that. So moving right along. So when we're thinking about those things that keep people stagnant, keep them stuck, and keep them from making those moves that can help them financially, why are people in such dire needs for finances anyway? Because we look at the financial problem, it's the number one stressor. But how did we get here? What is your perspective on how we got here?
So, again, I talk about these broken systems. We are in systems that are archaic, they're broken, they're corrupt, and the problem that I have discovered is, as I said earlier, we're taught to go to school, get an education, and be a robot. We're not taught to think for ourselves. Go out and get a financial planner. Go out and get an accountant. Go out and get a lawyer, so forth and so on. Go out and get a doctor. And they're taught in our broken systems on what they need to do with with their clients, their patients, their whatever. And unfortunately, we were not taught proper finances in school. We're just thrown into it. It's like, go make money. And if you make $50,000 a year, this is what you can spend your $50,000 on. Well, why can't I make $500 million or $500,000?
Right.
And people do, but I'm talking about the majority. We're talking about the majority. And, unfortunately, what we weren't taught, especially, and I'm talking for me, my generation, and I'm going to say the younger generation should wake up to this, because we were never taught that the economy is going to double, but your salaries won't. The economy doubles every 10 years, but your salaries don't. That's why you're seeing your grandparents working at Walmart. That's why you see your grandparents packing your grocery bags at the supermarket. And unfortunately, that is the reality of what's happening out there. So, number one, insufficient income. People are not getting raises. People are not getting 401k, donations from the corporations. A lot of that is being taken away today, and you're fed to go for yourself. You have to fund your 401k. You have to do everything. So insufficient income, because these corporations, they're bleeding the employee in regards to the workload. Because as a software engineer, 27 years, the last 10 to 15 years of my life, I was working 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week. It didn't matter, because the agenda was get the project done no matter what it takes, because the managers and the chairmans and the board want that extra money in their pocket, and that's what we were working for. So
Right.
insufficient income, when you're working, if you're working 40 hours a week at $125 to $150,000 a week, excuse me, a year, that's a good salary. But when you're working 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week, you break that down by the hours, and you don't even get enough
Yeah.
money for extra toilet paper,
Yeah.
breaking that down. So that's the insufficient income, because they know that either you work the overtime with no pay, or we can replace you. And
Yeah.
that's the carrot that they have in front of you. We can
Mm.
replace you. Everybody's replaceable. The
Mm.
second thing is poor financial habits, impulsive spending and compulsive shopping. And people are not really taught to save money. I'm going to say most people. This is not everybody. Again, I want to make sure that caveat is in there, because there are people
Right.
who have been really, really smart, but the majority are not. And it's
Mhm.
all about the material things. Get this, get it on credit card, and you go into debt for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of credit card debt, and then you're paying the interest on it.
Right.
So, it's more about understanding, what are your needs? What do I absolutely need and require to live, rather than be dangled over here by an ad on Facebook or Instagram. Oh, go buy this. It's 50% off, or it's, whatever the case may be. Oh, that looks like a pretty thing I'm going to buy. That's where, that magnetism of the social media is attracting people in, and just, really grabbing them by the throat, saying, buy this, buy this, buy this, and they do. So, and then the other thing is a lack of emergency savings. There's a lot of different reasons, but I'm going to say 9.9% of the people that I've talked to out of 10 people don't even have enough money in their bank account to cover them in the event of an emergency for 3 months. Say that they got laid off. They couldn't pay their rent. They couldn't pay their mortgage for 3 months.
Yep.
And you know what? I know exactly how they feel, because I was in that position.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yep.
suckered into that system and saying, oh my God, I have to rely on the government. I got to rely on this. I got to rely on that. Well, bottom line is they don't give two craps about you.
You better tell them.
Yeah, exactly. So, and in the event that there is an like for example, we had a hurricane down here last year, and we were out of electricity for 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. And the grocery stores were shut down because there was no electricity. All of the food that was refrigerated was destroyed.
Yeah.
And even during the pandemic, everything was shut down. And did you have enough reserve for food and all those other types of things? So these are the things that kind of woke me to say, okay, in the event, what if? And you have to play out that scenario. Now, granted, there's a lot of noise out there, but you have to evaluate, as I said earlier. You got to evaluate both sides of the fence, because there's two sides of the fence.
Right.
Either side, they're pitting against each other. And then before, I was on the one side. Listen, they're working in our best interest, when in fact they're not working in our best interest. All right. So now you need to look at this, weigh out the options, weigh out the information, and determine what's really true. And what I have learned is, don't listen to what they're saying, watch what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I like that, because it's the truth. It is the absolute truth, because you can see the rise and the fall, not just in what they say, but the outcome that they're providing, the life that they're living, and the proof
Yes.
the proof is always in the pudding. You will definitely see the longevity or the short-lived words of people, companies, theories, all of these things. And one of the things you just talk about earlier, just with you coming from your journey, starting the financial holistic thing, seeing how people got where they are and what keeps them there. What is it that that you got involved with that made you say, this is kind of why I'm trying to incorporate this into my business? Because like I have, like you said, don't listen to what they say. watch
Sure.
what they do. What was it that you started doing that you tried and tested and you proved it to be true and good fit for you?
Yeah, let me set a foundation here for those who are watching, Carrie, because initially I was not comfortable talking about this,
Right,
but it's a
right.
reality. It's part of my story, And in 2000, between 2001 and 2008, I lost over $900,000 in my retirement portfolio. All right, we had 9/11, we had the 2008 crash,
Right.
real estate crash. I was in the fine arts in my early, 20s for the first 10 to 12 years of my life, and working in New York City as a performing artist. Most of them are working paycheck to paycheck, so there's nothing to put away.
Mm.
When I got involved with software engineering due to an injury doing a rock video, that's when I started to put away money, and I was putting away money pretty aggressively, and it was a lot in the high risk, high tech arena when it comes to the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a reality check back then. So over the next, 10, 15 years, I'm still busting my butt to regain any of that, which was never going to reach what I had built over, like 20 to 30 years, that kind of money. And last year, I was introduced to a opportunity and to take a look at something different, if you will. And it was international real estate fractional ownership. When I heard it initially, I was like everybody else. I was skeptical. I don't know, it sounds too good to be true, blah, 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 blah. So, however, I just thank God every day that even though I was skeptical, I thought back to 2018 when I was working with my doctor saying, you know what? I'm looking at this holistic, jumping out of Western medicine, which is a centralized system, to go into a holistic where they have more control over holistic products, which are supplementation and the right ways to eat, so forth and so on. I said to myself, I wonder if the same thing could happen with my finances, or our finances, I should say. So I did some due diligence. To make a long story short, we decided to hop in, and within like 2 months, I was pleasantly surprised to see what kind of returns that we were getting in regards to this. Because bottom line is real estate is here to stay, no matter what. Sometimes real estate takes a hit, but this is international. So with that being said, last year we took a hit of $75,000 in our 401ks, and my financial planner said, "Oh, give it some time, it'll come back." I'm like, dude, I'm pushing 70 years old. I'm going to be 69 this month, 70 years old next month. I don't have time to wait for the
Right.
market. And they're already talking about in 2024 a stock market crash. So I said, enough is enough. And this is where we ended up taking this. This was our choice. We took our monies out. We liquidated our 401ks. We opened up a 401k LLC. We took these monies that were turning from a 401k to a 101k, and one of them actually went to a 0k. After trying to build up over the last 20 to 30
Might as well
years.
be talking Japanese.
Exactly. So we ended up going into 4 different projects, and one of them was this international real estate. And we ended up throwing in $200,000. And I have no qualms of sharing this because it is truth, and I can show you the back office and where my account is. We threw in $200,000 last year, and by the end of next year, that is going to grow to $500,000.
Come through, Jeffrey.
So with that being said, I'm like, holy, you know what? Holy poop. You know what? We've already recovered our $75,000 that we lost last year. We've also started to recover some of the things that we've missed. I haven't recovered 100%. However, I'm very, very confident that by the end of this year, into next year, that it will be well over $900,000 that we've been able to recoup in our retirement plan, because fractional ownership, it's about, owning portions of commercial real estate.
Mhm.
And yeah, we have a house, we have a mortgage, so we don't own it, but we have value in here. We bought it for 250,000. It's now worth over 550,000. So there's some equity there. But with international real estate, I'm like, I don't want to get involved with buying property and going through all the contracts and dealing with lawyers and dealing with all that kind of stuff. No, it's a whole different ball game. We took a chunk of money and moved it over to here to invest in an escrow account that is dealing with properties that are purchased with cash. There's no bank involved, so it's private investment, and they're building an ecosystem outside of the centralized system, the corrupt and broken centralized system, into a decentralized system where it is a community ownership. And we are benefiting from the rewards of these international properties that we are investing in. And, the project that I'm involved, the projects that we're involved with, two of them are 100% owned by the company that I am representing. And, there's two properties in Africa. There's two properties in Dubai. The goal is to basically be opening up properties in every country as we move forward, because we are the first company who has basically tokenized the REIT, the Real Estate International Trust. So we've tokenized that to where we can get a little piece of the action and participate in the rewards as the value increases over the years.
Right.
And it's all about the education. It's all about what is available to people that are out there, because bottom line is hey, back in 2009 and 2010, I was a software engineer, and Bitcoin came out, the blockchain came out. I'm looking at this, I'm like, no, that's not going to last. That's a Ponzi scheme. It's whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at 2014, 2015, cryptocurrencies coming out, cryptocurrencies on the blockchain. I'm like, wait a minute, something's going on here. Maybe I should start getting educated. And here we are, 2023. Blockchain is here to stay. It's the banks are using it, the medical industry is using it, the financial industry is using it. Now real estate is using it. And this is where currency is going in the future, is to be able to do digital currency. And why blockchain? Blockchain is a ledger that is out on the internet. And once a transaction is done, it's done. It's recorded. You can't change it. So it really, one of the main things is that it reduces and pretty much eliminates fraud and corruption, which is rampant in the systems today, because they're working with ledger books and so forth and so on, and they can manipulate those figures. And later down the road, they'll be able to, they may be found, they may not be found out about. But, we look at the systems that we have today. We look at taking out mortgages. We look at bank, putting money savings in a bank. I talked about, putting, in a savings account. You're lucky to get any kind of return on that. And when we got involved last year, we were earning 150% as a bonus package for coming on board with a royalty or a loyalty package, I should say, a loyalty package for this opportunity to participate in this ecosystem that is being built from a private perspective right now. Because the goal is to go, the goal is to eventually go public with this. But we're building a foundation so everything is lined up. We're registered with the right authorities, the agencies, where we can't be shut down, so forth and so on. So it's been really very interesting. And yeah, I got out of my comfort zone, and I pray to God because today I have no financial stress. Basically right now, I'm not financially free, but the path is there. I still have a mortgage, and we're even talking about maybe selling this house and moving out of the country.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people are doing it and putting their money where their mouth is. And let me tell you something. For someone like me, because I know there's got to be someone like me out there, some of that was like Japanese. The 401k, when he's at 0K, I'm like, I don't even know I don't even know where to start to how to explain how much I don't understand. So, for someone who's starting out financially, for someone who wants to step outside of their comfort zone, what do you suggest be their first step?
Really, the first step is to be open to getting educated, because you're not going to be given the right information from the professionals out there. Because unfortunately, and I'm not saying this again, I want to keep reiterating this. I'm not saying this is every professional, this is
Right.
not every system, so forth and so on. But a majority of the financial planners, the doctors, they're trained in a system that is corrupt and broken. They're trained, and that's all they know is they only know this. It's like when my doctor said, you have to manage your diabetes with medication. No,
Right.
you don't.
Right.
You
Right.
have to manage your money on the stock market. No, you don't.
Right.
You,
Right. Right.
you just be open and kind of like weigh out the options with the information, because bottom line is we have to be the CEOs of our own life,
Absolutely.
because unfortunately, yeah, these people try to work in your best interest, but I talked to a friend of mine who basically says you got to be the CEO of your own company. But I'm like, we pay these professionals so because they're the accountant, they're the financial planner,
Right.
they're the lawyer, they're this, they're that. And I paid an accountant. This was going back maybe 10 years or so, and I got a letter from the IRS saying I owe $11,000 in taxes. I'm like, what
I'll be like,
was I saying?
and then that goes back
So I'm
to
like,
the
what the
reason
heck
why
is
people
going on?
get
So yeah. Yes. Absolutely. So basically, get educated about. Here's the thing: get educated about both sides. Decentralization is the future. There are more and more companies that are going decentralized because there are people out there just like this. Wait a minute. No, this. No,
I
I gotta
got
go
it.
this way. What the heck? This company right here, VR to One.
I
They
was like, I
they
wanted me, people like me.
they are a company that is out there to help people get better returns on their investments.
Okay.
Okay, and there are companies out there that are out there doing really good things for people, but again, there are companies out there that are out there to screw you. And unfortunately, we did get involved with the company on the decentralized, where I hope they're shut down from a from the SEC, because this was a 6-figure investment. So you learn hard. You learn really, really hard.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So we're talking about getting the information to be financially, you know, attuned and aligned. You
Yeah.
know, where so this BRDA1, is that a website? Is there literature there for people to dive into so that they can get the information and
Yeah,
then get
there
started?
is a website. However, what I recommend is that I am doing weekly presentations, webinars to educate people about
Mhm.
this particular arena. Right now people coming on board, since we're a private entity until 2025. You're going to get more better returns on shifting your hard-earned monies over to get some really good benefits within 3 years,
Mhm.
from an escrow perspective. Do you have that image that I sent you
I
to
do.
yeah, bring that up. And what they can do, people can scan that. And what I'll do is I'll also put that into the, yeah, if you scan that QR code, it's a registration form. Pick the date that is comfortable for you, because I do Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. from 8 to 9. And I started to put in Thursdays from 1 to 2. for those that can't make it at night, vice versa. And this is basically an introduction to this opportunity. And what I love is that I actually went to Dubai in August, and after interviewing the CEO on my holistic financial fitness TV series, interviewing Dr. Tahir Hussein, who is our wealth coach, financial wealth coach, the Wakas Suhail, who sat down with me the day after the summit. We talked for like almost 45 minutes to an hour. And at the end, he said, I got a proposition for you. And I said, should I run now or what? So, but he said, no, we're actually all set to, with our paperwork in the United States. Would you be interested in taking a lead role in helping bring this to the United States to bring awareness to people? Oh. Immediately, I said I'd be humbled to do that. So this is my shift from holistic mental fitness to holistic financial fitness, because most people don't have, as I said, they don't have the money, an emergency savings. They're losing their money in the stock market. They're losing their money in the banks. They're losing their monies in these systems here. And if they're open to getting some information, come on, listen to what I've got to say. We can set up a one-on-one, talk about your current situation and see what the options are. And of course, this may not be the option for you, but it is an option that you're not aware of. Mm-hmm. And fractional ownership, Forbes magazine, and there's a lot of research being done that fractional ownership is a new way of being able to generate some passive income for people who are looking for other vehicles to allow them to do that. So, mm-hmm. And what I love about this is there's no monthly subscribe and save, and there's no monthly auto ship.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with the way everything is going today, people are struggling with finances, and that's one of the things from a holistic mental wellness perspective that people take away from their budget because they can't. It costs money to get well, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't cost a lot of money to stay sick because the insurance companies pay for that. But in order to take that small percentage of those products and services that are out there from a holistic perspective, it's a smaller percentage. And that's why it's a little bit more expensive to do that, because people have to make money. They've got to survive.
Yeah, they do. I am one of them. I got to make money to survive. And I am in a season of where I have realized how financially irresponsible I have been throughout my life. And most of it was justified by the reasons why I didn't have, because it all made sense,
Right.
The minimalist, money doesn't matter that much to me. I don't need a lot. I don't, cost a lot. I want to give whatever I had. I wanted to give it away. But
Sure.
These are irresponsible reasons, because in order for me to be able to give and to grow the way I want to give and grow, I have to have income coming in, flourishing, because I expect to expand my reach. And in order to expand my reach, I got to expand my pockets. So tell us again, these classes that you have, webinars.
These are webinars, and what I'll do is I'll put some information in the ATBA post for this video where they can register. I do that. There's going to be one every week: Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, and come and just get educated. Here's the thing: is that people say, "Oh my God, I don't have the money to invest in international real estate." Well, you know what? This is a program that's designed for people to come on board with $200, $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, or $50,000. So no matter now, when I say that, there's different packages that come with certain, attributes with those packages, if you will. But the bottom line is that if you're getting involved in an ecosystem where this particular coin or token, I should say token, because it's a security token offer right now is 30 cents. You put this $1,000 in or $5,000 in and let it sit there for 3 years, and that token is $1 in 3 years. You've just made a nice
Right.
change.
And not to mention, I want to insert right here that when you are being educated on something that you're investing in, and you can start on a small scale so that you can gain the knowledge. So by the time you make it to a larger scale, now you are better equipped with the information to know what to do with that money moving forward. So,
Exactly.
so don't delay your investment, just increase your education.
Exactly. That's perfectly said. Perfectly said.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm gonna be at one of them. If you're gonna be at one of them in the comments, because I think they ready. Somebody already registered, Jeffrey.
Oh my goodness, Facebook! I don't know who that Facebook user is, but
Right.
great. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yes, and then someone else said they're available. So yeah, y'all get in on this because this is on the upswing. And Jeffrey is, coming from from his meeting in Dubai and come back here and being a liaison for this path, being a guide for this financial holistic journey, and especially someone I put my name on. I vouch for him so much. I mean, like I couldn't vouch for anyone more when it comes to being educated. Because if you know anything, one of the things I always tease Jeffrey about, actually he teases himself more than I do about his information, because you can tell in his posts, he got a lot to say. That joke will be late. He's gonna do a post now. Because he loves to absorb the information, but even more so than learning, he loves sharing what he learns. So when you register and you go to these webinars, you will not be disappointed. Jeffrey, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is that the more I learn about what's really going on out there, the more I'm passionate about sharing this information, because so many people that I've talked to, even when I was doing my coaching, they were talking about financial struggles and this and that, and I knew nothing. I knew about, here's some supplementation to get your gut healthy, to get your brain talking to your gut and to your heart, and losing weight and becoming holistically healthy. But I couldn't talk about the finances. And now that I was able to open up my mind to be receptive to getting information, it's just opened up Pandora's box. And I am so elated that I never thought I could say that we are financially set. I don't have to worry, and I'm saying that from a superficial perspective, where before we had pretty much nothing. Now we've got a nice little nest egg that we can continue to build off of, and that's what you said, Carrie, is like start out small, and let it grow over time. And that's what we're doing, is we're taking that $200,000 that was going down, 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 down. We've created 500,000. Now we got that extra 300,000 that we can start off of. But then take that $200,000 and reinvest it, and reinvest it. And that's the beauty of this whole thing, because they're going to be purchasing. They want to build a $100 million portfolio. And we have 4 properties right now. And I've been to 2 of the properties when I was in Dubai. And the other thing I did want to mention too is when I went to the event, they did mention from the stage, and I was like, I was talking to somebody and I heard this phrase and I went, "What?" They talked about holistic financial fitness. So I was blown away. So, and that was Waqas Suhail, the CEO. And I'm just saying, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm saying, hey, I interviewed you last month before I came to Dubai on my Holistic Financial Fitness TV series, and maybe you're stealing that phrase from me. That's okay. That's all right.
As long as I say financially fit.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Oh, that's so good. This has been so good, and it has fed me, because I need to learn more about finances. I really do. I am 44 years old and I ain't getting no younger, but I sure am getting cuter. No, I'm just But I am looking for my pockets to be cuter than my face. You hear me? Because that's what I need. That is what I need. And I'm going to get registered as well. And I hope everyone out there listening does also. So, Jeffrey, thank you. Thank you so much for being here, sharing your knowledge. And we definitely going to have Jeffrey back for a part 2. We're going to have, we got the Healing Summit coming up throughout December. So I have the speakers for the Healing Summit being my guests through November. But once we start the turn of the year, because I know Jeffrey got a lot of new stuff coming at the turn of the year as well. We're going to have him back, and then we're going to see where everybody else is who registered. Maybe we'll have some testimonies. Y'all can come on and share what your experience has been from now until then. So any final words, Jeffrey, before we close out today?
I think, Carrie, and I've been using this as a pretty standard for me, because the more I talk to people, the more they're scared, the more that they are, wanting to get out of they do want to get out of their comfort zone, but they don't know how to. And the bottom line is that if you can just initially, you can be scared. That's okay. Initially be open to getting information. There's a lot of new things out there. There's a lot of beautiful things out there that are helping people. And, I was at a point in 2018 where I was desperately looking for something, because I was put on a path to early death. And it doesn't have to be that way. Be open, just get the information and start to get educated, and weigh out the value. Weigh out the information that you are receiving from these different entities, and then you can make an educated decision. Because if you're on, earlier I talked about the left, this side of the fence, that side of the fence. If you're only getting the information from this side of the fence and ignoring this side here, because this side doesn't totally agree with this side. So get the information from both sides and what resonates with you.
Right.
That's the bottom line. Because what? I go back to, it's all about a gut feeling. When I got this information, when I first was skeptical, I'm like, no, I need to be open to getting information. My gut just turned and turned and turned, saying, oh my God, this could be a way out for us. It could be a way out for other people. And that's what's so exciting. And that's what I'm excited about and passionate about, just really pushing people in a nice way to open up your minds and get educated, because we are in a system that is destroying us physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And I believe we should all be living an abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Love you. Thank you so much.
So good, y'all. Jeffrey, the owner of Abundance and Optimum Wellness. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're going to have him back. And until next time, I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
As I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in, or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. At 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that. No, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness